This is Paul Demix, the Demix. And how many melt shows have you done?
There have been upwards of 40.
And it's always some crazy array of equipment. Like, that's my recommendation to anybody who's tuning in. Like, get up front so you can watch people noodling with stuff that, well, I mean, you might not literally see anywhere else, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things with Melt. We want you to pay attention to the performer and see what they're doing. And it's like, there's a live element to electronic music. And that's one of the important things that we... I know. It's, you can perform electronic music live. Yeah, experimental is a word that scares people. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I mean, for me, it's a word I embrace. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think every night that I've been there, like, I really don't know which version of Melt I'm gonna get.
Yeah. Right now we're listening to Ohm Unit. We had him here at Melt actually a few years ago in 2012. He's a DJ producer from the UK. Kind of specializes in drum and bass a little bit, and then kind of a new style as people are calling slow fast. It's kind of like halftime drum and bass. The background rhythms are faster, but the kick and snare are slower or halftime. It's kind of like a slow head nod, but still has like kind of like the crazy stuff in the background happening. Danny Skrilla, also another producer from across the pond over there. Heavy halftime stuff. It's one of my favorite tracks here. Yeah. Yeah, it's got this great acidy bass line. And so for me, like, I like mixing a track like this with something with actually like proper drum and bass. You know, it syncs up, the tempo syncs up, and you know, it kind of works. For everything I use Ableton Live. And like, I started out on turntables and vinyl and everything, and I just eventually moved to Ableton. Like, I don't like DJ properly with it. I'll kind of set up like different little bits and pieces and parts, and like this song goes with that song and this song. And then, you know, I could go off in direction A, B, or C, or D, or Z. So I do a lot of like looping, a lot of like sampling, setting a lot of cue points, and I use my APC 40 to like hit the triggers, do a lot of effects, do a lot of live looping. For me, for people to like look at DJs who do that and like, oh, it's not real DJing or it's technology doing work for you, it's totally not. Like, the technology is there. You should use it to your advantage. Kid Knievel remix. We'll go. This is probably my favorite track of the last year or so. This is by The Bug. It's called Fat Mac.
M-A-C-K.
Ooh. It's like Rammstein meets Dub.
Everybody I know who knows is the Demix. How far can we trace that back?
I mean, that could be traced back to like childhood. I mean, I went to Catholic school and used to write 666 on my notebooks and stuff. So
it's not really part of the catechism.
No, they don't like that. They do not like that. When I started DJing, it wasn't dark or anything like that. Like, more like straight up techno, acid techno, some like Midwest hardcore. Like, I was really into Attic Records and Dormouse, Drop Bass Network, pioneers of the rave scene and techno scene in the Midwest. They threw events like further and even further. Who had we had Daft Punk and Aphex Twin playing in the middle of a farm in Wisconsin before like anybody else knew who they were. Like, parties started getting busted, or DJs wouldn't show up, or there's too many drugs, or just just whatever. Like everything, like, it gets popular and then all the idiots come and ruin it.
Well said. Well said.
Because I've always been into like metal and heavy music. It is dark, but it's not. It's not. I'm not like in my cave like, oh, I'm gonna be dark. It's just it just kind of comes out that way. Chilean hip hop. I'm probably gonna butcher the name. It's Como Escenar a Felipes.
We need Blue Mark Joe in here for this.
Yeah, I know. This is something I'll throw into the middle of a DJ set just to like throw people off. A little symphonic, little jazzy, little hip hop, like really, really cool mix of stuff. They're on a label called Cool Arrow Records, which is run by Bill Gold, who's the bass player from Faith No More. Like, if there was a band that got me into making music at all, it was Faith No More. His label's got some really cool music, and it's very, again, like very worldly. Again, it's part of our job to like get this music out there and share it with people.
Sure.
You know, because who else is? Educating people is not always easy, as I'm sure you know.
I'm sympathetic to that argument.
I had a little bit of piano lessons that I learned, and then I played guitar for a number of years. I mean, I kind of think of it as like a modern day, I don't know, not to sound like too pretentious, but like modern day like composer, like classical composer. You kind of roughly play something, and then you can clean it up in the computer, and then you can say, okay, that doesn't work, but if I arrange these few notes, or arrange these couple parts, now it works. Now it's what you want. I've seen dancing, which is unexpected because it's not a dance party, but sometimes it turns into one. I've seen mosh pits. But my favorite is when people just kind of like stand there in like shock and awe, just like, and you don't know if it's a good shock or a bad shock until like the end of the song or until the end of the set, when then all of a sudden like everyone's like going crazy nuts, like thinking it's awesome. Put out my first 7-inch. It's called the Ghost Network Act 1 on Radio Graffiti. It's a local label. They've put out a series of 7 inches now, all experimental, extreme electronic music. My record is the 10th that they've put out. 2 tracks, A-side, B-side. This is A-side, Shark Tank. So a little bit, it's the crazier of the two, I guess. Some may call it breakcore. I just call it music.
I can hear that.
It's worth it alone just to get the art, really. The artist, his name is Mirko. He's from Italy. Each record has been hand painted with watercolor. It's all original artwork. You get like an insert. The art sheet has 2 different images on each side, which go along with each track. Handwritten liner notes, which are encrypted. There's a key there for you to encrypt and see what they all say. I couldn't be happier with how it turned out, really. I love putting on a record and looking at the artwork, looking at the lyrics, looking who wrote it, who produced it, where it was printed, you know, like everything, just like all of it, and that is something that gets lost in the digital.
Who's on the hand claps?
Yeah, it's really, like who's clapping? Who is it? The A-side, Shark Tank, that was one. I want to say it came together quickly, but it came together a lot more quickly than the B-side. It's very rhythmic, but it's also intense and heavy and gets loud and noisy. Then the B-side, Dead Sea, the initial melody of it I wrote, I don't know how many years ago. Yeah, I would say Shark Tank, that would be an example where you throw like everything at the wall and then start stripping things away. You don't always want to have like 5 minutes of just like you know. So it's good to like bring it up and down like that. And then the B-side was just where it was, for me, it's kind of like I want it to sound like a band. Like I want you to think like it sounds like there's guitars. There's no guitars in this thing at all, but I want people to kind of like feel like
Oh really? No guitars in
there's
that?
no guitars, no.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so like I mean this part.
What's in this beer?
There was a label called Attic Records, which we're producing a lot of the more weird hardcore music. That's Dormouse's label. That was like the first time I thought, oh, wow, DJ electronic music doesn't have to just be like 4 on the floor techno.
Yeah.
It can get like crazy and weird and wild. There's a lot going on here. You just have to make it happen for yourself, and you have to go out and seek what it is you want.
That's great advice. And to that I would only add, let the Demix autograph your nipple. Won't be sorry.